Hello there, how are you? My name is Novi and I've started to do blogs because I think this is a way for me to express myself creatively, and this is a way for me to communicate to everyone as well about my experiences and about the learnings that I've gotten from my experiences. You might be thinking, why now? It's because I've tried. I've wanted to do this for a long time now, but there were so many things that stopped me from doing this before. I'm a bit shy, and there's also the voice in my head telling me you shouldn't do it, you can't do it, and I realized later on that maybe I can. You know, I think it's very important for us to realize that there are so many things that stop us from doing things, but if you're actually doing something, then you open yourself to more creativity and to growth as well. Never mind the people who tell you can't do it, especially yourself telling yourself that you can't do it, because you can. You know, when you're the man in the arena, when you're putting yourself out there, you expose yourself to criticisms and to ridicule, but who cares really, right? The most important thing is that you are able to send the message across to whoever your audience is. So the other reason why I wanted to start this blog, because I'm moving to France and I'd like to document this chapter in my life. And you might be thinking, why now? Why am I moving to France when already living in a very beautiful country called Australia, and I'm here in Brisbane, which is probably one of the most livable cities in the world. So the reason why I'm moving to France is sevenfold. I'd like to enumerate them one by one, but as a background first, I'd like to tell you that I'm a lawyer. I finished a law degree in 2018. I always wanted to be a lawyer, and I almost gave up on this dream, but it did come true, as dreams do when you actively make them happen. After 4 years of legal training, I thought I needed to have a bit of a rest, and I needed to go back to nursing because I thought this was an opportunity for me to financially recover. Also, I worked as a clinical facilitator in a hospital here in Brisbane, and I'm just so grateful because nursing has provided me an opportunity to to continue to pursue my dreams. However, in making money, in building an economic empire, I thought to myself, what's the purpose of making money? Is it a means to an end, or is it the end that I should strive for? And the answer is always the former. For me, money is an avenue for me to chase my dreams more, and to be a leeway so that I can help other people, I can continue to reach for the goals that I've set out for myself. Therefore, I've looked for opportunities to utilize my legal education into a different career trajectory, and and apply for organizations where I think I'm best suited and where I can help, given the abilities that I have as well. But the job market is a bit tough at the moment. Jobs are very few and far between. And sometimes I feel down, but I just think to myself, the job market is tough, and all I can do really is to equip myself with the skills in order for me to forge ahead and become more competitive. I think it's very important to never stop believing, even if sometimes believing can be very exhausting. Which brings me to Paris. Paris. So why Paris? There are 7 reasons why I'm going to Paris. The more I think about it, the more it makes sense that I should go. I mean, I have to consider the practical realities as well. There are so many obstacles that I need to face if I want to go to France, and that's for another video. But for this time, I'd like to express my positivity and affirmation why I want to go to France. I think when you're a dreamer, it's very important not to be nihilistic or pessimistic, and it's very important to think of positive things, because positivity can go a long way. And what separates thrivers from mere survivors is the can-do attitude, and it takes you wherever you want to go. So I made a list of why I'm going to France. Reason number one, I received an offer to study in Pantheon Sorbonne University for a master's program in law. I've applied for this program since last year before coronavirus happened, and fortunately I got accepted, and I'm so happy about it. Pantheon Sorbonne University is one of the successor universities of the University of Paris. University of Paris has been called La Sorbonne before, and it's actually a very famous university. In fact, it's where Voltaire, Marie Curie, Pierre Curie, and Saint Thomas Aquinas studied. So I think it's a good company, right? And um, Pantheon Sorbonne as well is the top legal institution in France. So I think potentially it can set me up maybe in the future, hopefully. Competition is actually very stiff because they were only choosing 30 lawyers from around the world. So what I needed to do was I needed to submit an essay about why I deserve a place in the program, and I also asked two previous professors to put in a good word for me, and I also needed to pass an interview with the program director. I would be crazy to pass up on this rare opportunity, and if I don't take it, um, I think I will regret it later. So the second reason why I want to go to France is because I want to experience the Parisian lifestyle. And no, I'm not merely talking about picnics in the River Seine or going to the Louvre. Um, this is far deeper. Actually, in fact, if I would like to share with you my previous experience in Paris, it wasn't the nicest at all. I thought, yeah, this is a beautiful place, but so are many other places in the world. But when I look back at it, and the more I understood France, their history, their culture, it made me realize that to understand a place is not only to visit there for a few days. It's about living there on a day-to-day basis. It's about a day-to-day grind. It's not only about um, looking it in the eyes of a tourist, but looking at it in the eyes of a resident. For me, living in Paris would be the smell of fresh baguette in the morning, and even the smell of urine in the metro. About a year ago, I've watched this movie called Midnight in Paris. It's about an American writer named Gilles Pender. He visited Paris, and every night he would wander around the streets of Paris, and then he comes across a vintage car, and it would take him to 1920s Paris. If you don't know your histories, 1920s Paris is the Les Années Falls. It's the crazy years. It's the time when literary icons and artists gathered in Paris and made it their home base. And they found inspiration. They drew inspiration from the aesthetic beauty of Paris and the culture and the lifestyle. And maybe I need inspiration too. In the words of Hemingway, once you've lived in Paris, it never leaves you. It stays with you wherever you go. It's a movable feast. Reason number three, I'm looking for more job opportunities. Paris is where the OECD, or the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development and the United Nations are headquartered. So I think being there, it can help set me up professionally if I wanted to pursue legal consulting or legal advocacy in the future. I think it's an opportunity um, to participate in startup programs as well, because it's quite common in Paris at the moment. Reason number 4 is I'd like to experience joie de vivre. So this is the concept of living life to the fullest, of making sure that you appreciate the little things in life, and that you are able to eat your meals slowly, making sure that you take walks, basically, and just live life in a way that you're not rushed, and you're taking time to smell the roses. Hustling and being in a rush is very common in today's world, and I think personally it's very important to actually step back and take things slowly every now and then. Reason number 5, Roland Garros. For those who know me, I'm sure you're well aware that tennis is my favorite sport, and that Rafael Nadal is my favorite sporting icon. So the French Open, or the Roland Garros, is the tournament where he had been the most successful, and at least once in my life I'd like to see Nadal win. That will be a fulfillment of a dream. Number 6, travel. Paris is at the center of Europe. It's a gateway to Europe and further afield. So if I live in Paris, I think I will have more travel opportunities. And reason number 7, and perhaps the cheesiest one, there is something that I'm looking for, maybe something deeper, maybe even love. And as they say, the French make the best lovers, so maybe it's something that I can find out for myself. So here are the 7 reasons why I wanted to go to Paris, and to live there at least a year, hopefully more. As I said, I'll have to wait and see what the next few months bring. Of course, I need to consider the situation that we are in at the moment. But I'm very hopeful. If there's one thing that you can't take away from dreamers, it's seeing the rainbow after the rain. So if you have any comments, suggestions, if there's a reason as well that you can think of why you'd like to live in France, please comment below. And if you like the video, please subscribe on the subscribe button. There are so many other things that I'd like to share with you, and that's for another video. For now, goodbye, au revoir. Thank you.